Last week, after that deadly shooting at a high school in Florida, I spoke on this segment about all the things short of gun control that could be done to protect our kids. We can teach kids what to look out for. We can make it clear to them that pictures like this and pictures like that must be reported to the police. We can demand that our schools be more secure. You know, Americans, we disagree about a lot of things when it comes to this debate, like whether to change the age of gun ownership or whether to ban certain guns altogether. But these basic things we seem to agree on, that we should teach our kids to report things that seem off, and that our schools should have some sort of security, at least until we can figure out how to prevent school shootings in the first place. But here's the problem. Students in Florida did report the gunman. Over and over and over and over. Police in Florida got 23 calls about him since 2008, some directly warning of a school shooting. The FBI knew about his previous threats, yet nothing was done to stop him. So what about that other point I talked about, making sure our schools are more secure? Well, Florida Governor Rick Scott proposed this idea.
Today, I'm calling for a mandatory law enforcement officer in every public school. These law enforcement officers must either be sworn sheriff's deputies or police officers and be present during all hours students are on campus.
That's great. But Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School did have an armed, uniformed school resource officer on campus that day. Do you know what he did while 17 people were being massacred inside? Nothing. He stood outside with his gun and he did nothing. And that deputy has now resigned. So we can talk all we want about how to prevent school shootings, how to keep our kids safe. We can even find things that we agree on, which is not easy to do these days. But it means nothing if there is no follow-through. We can tell our kids to report troubling behavior, but when they do, we better listen. We can hire armed police officers to protect schools, but when the time comes for them to do their jobs, they better be ready. And if Americans can find common ground on an issue like gun control, no matter how big or small, our politicians better be willing to do the work of the people who elected them. And if not, it's up to all of us to hold them accountable.